bring the band in. Woo. Well, all right. Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to Between Rounds. We're here with Cageside Rewind again with the one and only Alex Caceres, one of the most unique personalities in the sport, known for being a true mixed martial artist, free spirit, and a badass. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man, so excited to talk to you. We've been doing this for a long time together. We've known each other for a long time.
I would say like probably over 10 years.
For sure, I think.
For sure over 10 years.
Yeah, what was our first fight together? Do you remember?
That was
I met you, I think, right after Damasio Page.
Was it?
I think
really?
Backstage. I met you backstage and you'd had a couple of drinks. You were pretty loose.
We weren't together for Damasio Page?
No, not yet.
Damn, who was our first fight?
Gosh, I was trying to remember that.
Was it at 135 or 145?
Well, you just fought on the show at 155.
Yeah.
And I think you were at 45 there for a couple, and then you dropped. Damasio had to be at 35.
Yeah,
because
that was at 35.
He was a 25er and was the one right after that. We went to Japan. That was one of our first ones.
Okay.
Where you killed that guy with your jab the whole night.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I started feeling bad for him. I'm like, oh, keep your hands like but like you could feel it because like it was so swollen that every time I hit his eye, like you could feel like squishy kind of. I'm like, oh fuck,
I remember you telling me that in the corner.
And I was trying to hit him in another place, but it just like his head was so big, it just kept. I'm like, okay, it's right there.
Oh, like hitting the Goodyear blimp. Hey, you know what I remember about that fight is you almost he shot in on a single and you almost hit that reverse triangle.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We had been talking about that in practice. And
I get that a lot, and it's hard to finish, though. It's a hard one to finish just because you got to really stretch out their leg, and sometimes they just turtle up. I mean, it's a good position to hold. And
yeah. Well, you're so long, too. There's a little space in the triangle when you do it. So let's go back to the beginning.
Go ahead.
How'd you get started in martial arts? Did you grow up in Miami?
Yes, I did. That's where I was born and raised.
The whole time, huh?
Yep. Yeah, that's where I was born and raised. And then I moved around in different parts of Miami when I was younger. And then I got into martial arts first. I think, the first initial sign I was shown into martial arts was wrestling, I guess, in middle school. That was like at the end of like my 8th grade year.
Like collegiate wrestling?
Like kind of like high school
American,
wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Like traditional. What do you call it? Folk style.
Yeah, folk style
Wrestling. And then it was 8th grade, so it was like my last year of middle school. And then we just did like the little summer camp there. And then then when we got into high school, me and my brother, we joined the wrestling team there. And that's our first introduction to martial arts. And in my 10th grade year, so my second year of wrestling, we met Enrico Coco, who was like my corner for a couple of the UFC fights, and we also trained together for a very long time. But he introduced us to MMA, and then he brought us to his brother-in-law's school at the time, which was the Freestyle Fighting Academy, and that's where we're.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had a lot of good fighters come out of there.
Yeah,
a lot of tough guys, mostly ground fighters, right?
Yeah, Georgie Masvidal also started over there as well.
Yeah,
that's where we all kind of like came from the same area.
Yeah,
and then we started there, and then I remember not within the first year of training there. That's where I met El Tigre, or Eric Castaños. He's the one who basically brought me to his gym, the Young Tiger Foundations, where I met Manolo and everybody. Oh. And that's where I was training at for all those years. And it was just like a great striking gym, And they also had great wrestlers because it was like all the athletes, the Olympic athletes coming from Cuba. So we were learning from the boxers, the wrestlers. We had people like Alexis Vila. Wow. And then obviously... your Romero came through and was training with us for years as well. So we got to learn a whole bunch of different cool stuff. And I think the main crazy stuff that we learned there is like how to be an athlete, a crazy athlete, because I guess like the athleticism that they learn in Cuba is like being super flexible and super strong without necessarily using weights.
That's something that's a strength. Like you're super flexible. Were you flexible even as a kid?
Not necessarily. I definitely had to work at it, but I definitely attained flexibility at a younger age.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to work at it. I would say I started to become flexible around like 17, 18.
Huh.
That's when
you started working at it a little bit more?
Well, yeah. Well, I was always working at it. Just take some time. And then one thing that expedited the process was
I'm scared of this one.
we had an assistant wrestling coach, and he was kind of a dick. His name was Coach Clark, and then he put me in a banana split, and then like just fucking popped my my shit loose, pop, and like I just heard like 2 loud pops, and then like he let me go, and then like I was walking like a cowboy for like two weeks, but after that I could do splits, and you know I was pretty flexible after that. And
I didn't even think about you starting as wrestling. I literally thought, because of how you kind of approach mixed martial arts, that it would be like the old martial arts movies, you know, the old Japanese, the ninja stuff. Did you ever watch any of those things?
Well, yeah. I guess my first introduction to fighting in general, I was 6 years old. Like that's when I first like got bullied in school, and then I went home and told my dad, and then like he gave me a whooping, and then like made me first of all do exercises, and like made me throw like 1-2 punches, and then made me watch Bruce Lee movies, and then that's where I got introduced to martial arts. And so the next day I went back and then got into the fight with the kid, beat him up, and then my dad rewarded me for doing that even though I was suspended. So I kind of saw, I guess at a young age I was ingrained already with the reward system for winning fights, for going out there and defending myself. I wouldn't necessarily look for them, but I wouldn't be shy to commit to a fight, you know, at any given moment, because there was like, okay, you know, if I don't stand up for myself, there's pain.
Repercussions,
yeah,
both in the fight and after the fight.
So it's better if I do stand up for myself, at least I'll get something out of it or something like that. But
The Freedom Fighters, is that when you started doing those backyard fights? Because there's some film of you as a young kid rolling around in the grass, triangling people.
Yeah, that was so I was around like, I would guess around like 17 going on 18, because after 18 I stopped doing those fights, because that's when I got on my 18th, like a little bit after my 18th birthday, I think on it or before it, I think it had to be on or after it. That's when I had my first fight. My first professional fight. I was just waiting to turn 18 to get my fight. But so around, that was like before I was 18.
Yeah.
So I was doing that when I was training it was still called Young Tigers Foundation. It became Freedom Fighters.
Oh, okay.
But it was called
basically the same people?
The same place, the same people.
Yeah, cool. And they, like Manolo was a great striker, right? He was a Taekwondo guy?
No, he was just like an all-around karate guy. He didn't really, and it was mostly Muay Thai. You know, that's what he did mostly. But he blended it with a lot of the karate and the point fighting system that they had in Cuba and stuff like that. So it was very elusive.
He had great movement.
Yeah,
he was very quick in and out.
Yeah, it was just very, very elusive, very smooth. You know, that's where I learned a lot of my striking from. You know, he was able to blend those teachings very well with me.
Yeah, you. So what age did you start on those backyard brawls? Were they called backyard brawls? I don't remember what the official title was.
I forgot what it was called. I don't even remember if there was being a name, if anything. You know, it was just how I got into that. I was training, so I had to be like around 16 or 17. And I remember I was training at the Kendall ATT location because they weren't my managers yet, but I guess those guys had like bought that place or whatnot, and then we were training there because
first round guys.
Yeah. We were training. Forgot who we were training with, but we were training there, and I met a guy named Level Martinez, and then we started training together. And then he's like, "Hey man, you're really good at this. Whatchamacallit? You want to come and like come to the backyard fights with us and whatnot and represent us and whatnot." And little did I know, you know, Level Martinez is like the leader of the Latin Syndicate gang, you know, in Florida. So then I'm going over to represent them. So then when I get over there, you know, like I'm like, oh shit, like this is legit, you know, like, and they had like police officers guarding the entrance and everything, because like the way they looked at it, like if the gangs are fighting in the backyard, they're not killing each other in the streets.
Yeah.
So that was a major thing of it. I guess it was more like territorial rights and bragging rights for gang members, so they don't necessarily kill each other.
Well, it's a better tension release.
Oh, like, yeah, for sure. Like, we do have to
competition.
We have to bring back, yeah, exactly. We have to bring back controlled, healthy violence to be expressed, kind of like rites of passages for men, so that we can get our wiggles out. You know, we're not out there just trying to prove something.
Well, because if you hold it, it's going to come out anyway.
Yeah.
And it's going to come out more explosively.
And it's going to hurt.
In a bad way. How many of those did you have?
I would say like 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Scrapping around. So was Kimbo Slice involved in those? Were those his yet? Or did he
No,
kinda
he
got
was.
known.
He was doing them. He's like at that time he started like he already did a whole bunch, and I think that time he was mostly like hosting them, and he'll have like some like bigger fights, but for the most part it was like because it was a little bit after, like that was like when Georgie Masvidal was coming up and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I remember there's some old films of him doing basically boxing matches. Did they have different rule sets? Like, hey, we're only doing striking for this.
Yeah, so there was different rule sets. So some people would just do hands, and then some people would just anything goes.
Yeah.
But there was like, it was either that. It was just anything goes, or some people just do boxing.
Yeah. I think I remember you triangling somebody in one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
So
they
you were
wanted-
doing more of the MMA stuff?
Yeah, I let the guy choose. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I
Oh.
was like, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, all right, whatever you want to do. He's like, oh, I'll do everything. And I'm like, okay, then let's do that. And then I was trying to keep it standing up on that one. You know, like that particular incident that was filmed, that's a funny incident. Okay, so when I got to the backyard fights, we got there ready to fight and everything. I'm nervous as fuck. You know, like it's a whole bunch of people out there, and
16 years old.
yeah, 16 or 17. I would say I was 17.
Still
probably.
a kid.
Yeah. But then it was just I was supposed to fight the guy that I fought, the guy that I triangled, the guy Chocolate. That was his name. And I was supposed to fight him, but when I got there, he wasn't there, and he says, "No, well, his boy, I guess his name's Shorty Cash. He'll fight you instead." So I'm like, "All right, we're gonna go fight this guy instead." And then I'm like, "Oh, what do you want to do?" He's like, "Oh, everything goes." And then I guess he was a little bit of a wrestler, so he tried to take him down a whole bunch of times. He was able to take his back and choke him out. Once the fight was over, Chocolate somehow appears from out of town. And
Nice.
he's like, he's ready to fight, like already in fight gear, hands wrapped and everything. He's like, all right, like, we want to do this. And I'm like, let's do this too. And then like, so I end up fighting him as a second fight in that same night. And then I was trying to keep it standing up because I felt like I probably have an advantage there. But then he went and grabbed me and then took me down. So I'm like, oh crap. He started slamming me on the floor. And then so I got to put him in a triangle. And I was able to snatch that on. But
So you got 2 fights in an hour.
yeah.
2-0, baby. Getting it rolling. How did that lead you to, I mean, was it easy then to just go into fighting and into the Ultimate Fighter?
Well, I've always when MMA came on the scene and when I discovered it, you know, I'm like, oh man, I would like to do this.
Yeah.
You know, like for this, I want to try this at least. So I did amateur fights before too, like amateur kickboxing and amateur grappling matches because they didn't have it blended yet at that time.
Right.
So I'm like, I definitely wanted to compete. So I just waited till I was 18 to compete because my parents didn't want to sign for me, so I just had to wait till I can sign for myself. So I started doing all the fights that I could, you know, whether it was be illegal or amateur or
Right.
whatnot, just to get the jitters out before I get in there.
So how did the invite come to the Ultimate Fighter? You were 5-2. Your record was 5-2, and you got invited to the Ultimate Fighter. How'd that come about?
Well, the last fight that I won, I was that fight was supposed to get me into the WEC. Like me and that guy, we were competing for that spot.
Yeah.
And then I got it. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be great. We're going to the WEC for 145. And then my brother says, hey, man, they're having tryouts for the Ultimate Fighter up in North Carolina. And my dad was staying up in North Carolina at the time. So I'm like, all right, let's just take a road trip up to North Carolina. And then we just drove up to North Carolina. Funny, short little story in between that. As we're driving up, we get pulled over in South Carolina. Funniest thing ever. And an Asian cop starts walking up towards us. And then the minute he opens his mouth, he was like, what you folks doing around here? And I'm like, holy shit, I did not expect that at all. I'm like, he was like, but like straight country Southern, like,
Oh, geez.
like it was just no Asian accent whatsoever.
Did you get in trouble for your reaction?
No. We just got a speeding ticket, I guess.
Like, is that your real voice, sir?
But anyways, we got to North Carolina, did the tryouts. I remember we had to do a grappling match between some other competitors and then hit some pads and mitts with some guys that they had there holding for us and then do a short interview. I remember when I was, me and my brother did the tryouts, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I was grappling the guy, he shot him for a takedown. I did kind of like a front roll over his back, took his back and choked him out.
Oh,
and
shit.
So like they were
That'll
impressed.
get you on the show.
And then I just hit the pads. I'm like, okay, the guy can strike as well. And then the minute I walked in for the interview, and then uh, I walked in for the interview, and one of the guys just like yell out, like this, like something like, he looks like young Michael Jackson. And then the other guy starts laughing. He's like, oh, that's it. We already like you. Like, I didn't even get the chance to speak.
That's
and he's like,
perfect.
what's your name? He's like, Bruce Lee. And he started laughing, and he's all right, leave. It's like, we'll call you. And I'm like, okay, and that's it.
So were you already had the nickname Bruce Leeroy?
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
Well, that was when I met my managers when I was one time training grappling at that ATT in Kendall. I was grappling with Malky and with Malky Kawa, and I kept tapping him out, and then like he was impressed. So then, whatchamacallit, he's like, he was trying to get into MMA because he had like football. I mean, was it football or baseball players signed? Like he was doing that like other sports.
Yeah.
But he wanted to get into MMA, so I was actually his first fighter. He signed. He's like, hey, you're pretty good. You want to try and do this? And he booked me my first fight and everything. And so we went from there.
You guys have been together a long time. You were together a long time.
Oh yeah, from the beginning.
Yeah, that's awesome. From the very beginning.
Yeah.
Malky always used to talk about that nobody could tap
And he
him
gave
out.
he gave me the nickname basically. They ever like he's the one who showed me the movie and everything like that.
The Last Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good character. So when did you start wearing the Bruce Lee costume, the yellow with the black stripes?
Well, the yellow and the black stripe, that was a one-time thing that I wore on the Ultimate Fighter, but I've always wore like the black and white like gis just because I was a fan of like not only Bruce Lee but just like all the Chinese martial arts films and stuff like that, and just the culture and everything like that.
Yeah.
So even like the old Jackie Chan films, like The Drunken Master, was one of my favorites. You know, stuff like that.
The did that speak to you, like the code, how they handle themselves? Because that's always been something I think since I've known you, it's been important to you. You know, it's not really. It is about fighting, but it's more about testing yourself. It's more about the spirit inside. Did those movies like awaken that within you, or did it just spoke to you? Did you feel that before?
Well, definitely. I felt like I've always had a mind that I've always tried to question things and try to understand things at a deeper level. I don't want to. I don't know. I just always been curious,
Yeah.
you know, about it. So, when you look at like a lot of martial arts, I guess idols and movies and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of people, what they grasp is like the super disciplined and super honed mind. And I don't think of anything of the sort. You know, when you look at the real masters, they're always the whimsical ones, the tricksters, the ones that are always quick with a joke. They can they can always make you laugh. They're never wrong. You know, like, it's funny. So I try and be that way where things don't necessarily matter. Like they show you that things don't matter. There was movies like I believe Jet Li, I think it was called, I can't remember if it was Hero or one of those movies, but like it was getting to a state where it's okay if I don't go on existing. You know, that way you're free to perform, you're free to fall. You're not resisting. If you're resisting, you can't express yourself fully. You know, you're going to hurt yourself. Like think about like breathing, for example, right? Do you think you're breathing? Do you think you control your breath? Well, try and control it. Try and hold on to it and see what happens.
Yeah.
You're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Right? But if you let it go, it naturally comes
You'll be
back.
fine, yeah.
It naturally comes back. Or if you think about it in water, if you try to resist the water or grasp at the water to hold on to stay afloat, you'll sink like a rock.
Yeah.
But when you trust and give faith to the water and let yourself go, let it carry you, you'll stay afloat. So I think in that sense, when we look at our skill or when we look at our so-called development, or we look at our persona, or we look at our personality, have faith in that, have trust in that, being yourself, you know, float in yourself. A lot of us, we resist our natural self because we spend a whole lot of time in society covering things up, having to impress people out of expectations, you know, out of a hurry for some reason.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I was trying to achieve, like more of a zened out type of look to a kind of blown out personality. It was okay. Like, it's okay I'm not hoping for a positive or trying to avoid a terrible outcome.
Yeah. I'm just going to go be who I am. I always felt that from you. Like always a sense of joy to go in there and compete. I wouldn't even say compete. Obviously we compete, but to go in there and get to do what you do.
Yeah. And and it's funny as it sounds, like even in the worst times, to experience those sorrows, to experience those hard times, like I have to take it as is. And when I feel those feelings, I feel them. I do get down, and you see me get down. I want to kind of get down in the dumps, you know, like I kind of want to experience that feeling just because not a lot of people get to experience that feeling. And without that feeling, I couldn't contrast it with the other feelings. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to appreciate those other feelings more.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, when we have those bad feelings, we have an avoidant nature about it. And then we live the good feelings superficially.
Yeah.
And we just kind of just dabble into them like, oh, and then we have to keep doing it in order to keep that high up.
The highs and lows give each other the context
Yeah.
that we can enjoy and sort of learn from. Yeah.
Yeah, it arises mutually.
Yeah. So you go on the Ultimate Fighter. You won 2 fights by submission, by the way. You're kind of a submission fighter at this point in your career, by the way. I don't want to say it. I know you're a striker, but you're triangling rear naked choking folks to death.
It usually happens because it's like out of circumstance. Like the guy experiences that, oh, he's out striking me. Let me take him to the ground. And I'm like, all right, I guess I have no choice but to submit this guy.
I might have to strangle you now.
Yeah,
So you won those 2 fights, and then you fought Michael Johnson. Was there a beef between you guys in the gym, in the house?
I guess people started getting annoyed because there was a lot of people on the yellow team that were playing pranks on me. So I just kept playing general pranks on just everybody.
Yeah.
And then so people were getting annoyed, but I don't know if there was a beef. I think more like Michael Johnson had to get into a state of mind where he had to feel like he was beefing with me in order to get ready to fight me. But no, I never felt any other way towards anybody.
Well, you guys both asked for each other because you're teammates, right? You're both on Team GSP.
Yeah.
And then you both asked, you're like, oh, I'll fight Michael Johnson. He's like, yeah, I'll fight Bruce Leeroy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You guys had...
Did I ask for him? Probably.
It's been a long time since you fought that.
Yeah.
How was that fight? It was a decision. But
Yeah,
he's a 55er. He's legit 55er.
It was a decision, and there was a lot of moments where I was even on top and stuff, and like I made a mistake that I would say it was due to my lack of experience in grappling and wrestling and whatnot, where I could have capitalized on that fight. But I felt like I was out striking the crap out of him, and I felt like he won the fight just holding me down and holding me up against the fence most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like he didn't really
Well,
do
in only
anything.
2 rounds, did you feel like a frustration that there were only 2?
Yeah, I felt like in the third round, would have been a little bit different. I felt like I was, at least from what I can remember, I was adapting mentally. Like, okay, this is what he wants to do now. He doesn't want to strike with me. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want me to be on top either. So,
Well, obviously, I mean, it's hard in those situations because you're like you fought at 35. Michael's been a 55er. I think he tried to go to 45 and it didn't go great.
yeah.
But he's a fairly big guy, Did you feel like on the show that was a big deal or it didn't matter at all?
No, I didn't feel that way. I've always been that way. I've always been the small guy or the runt of the litter. So I've always been fighting up no matter what. So
Yeah. The that led you to the UFC. 30 UFC fights. That's crazy.
30, 32.
I thought it was 30.
Oh, okay.
It says you're 16, 13, and 1 with the 1 no contest, which should be 17. That's a lot of fights, man. You don't feel like it's a lot of fights.
Yeah, it goes by pretty quick. I mean, it is a lot of fights, but yeah, it's 30. Yeah, it's a lot of fights in the UFC. It is.
I was thinking about it. One of the things I enjoy the most. Obviously, I've loved all our experiences together, but your walkout music and the way you've played some tunes that surprised me and were like super fun. What does that play? What role does that play to get you ready for a fight? Any? Or are you just trying to put the crowd in the mood? How do you look at your walkout music?
Really, it is like, and it's fine. I just don't put importance on it. It's I like the music, like, oh, this will be a cool tune to play. There's been times where like I've changed my walkout song in my head like 5 times before the fight. I'm like, oh no, I want this tune. No, I want this tune. It's just because I like the music. It's the music that I train to. It's the music that I spar to. It's the music that I do everything to, and it puts me in the mood for doing what I am doing. I never understood people, that listen to music with a motive.
Yeah.
With a destination, as if that was the purpose to music. Like, I'm going to listen to a song so I can get myself in the mood for this fight. And it's like, well, that wasn't the mood that you ever had training up until the fight.
Yeah.
Or doing any of the activities you were doing to prepare for the fight. So why change it up at the last minute? I feel like it puts a dichotomy between you and your process.
Yeah. Well, I think some people feel like it gets them to a spot where they want to be. And that's what I was kind of asking you. But it sounds like you could have walked out to no music and it would have been playing it.
Well, yeah,
would have been playing
exactly. Yeah, sometimes silence might be better. Like sometimes it's just like I don't try to detach myself from the happenings of the surrounding world around me.
Yeah.
So the music would be, if there was no music, it would be the gentle coughs, maybe the clapping, the cheering of the crowd. You know, if it goes silent, maybe they're watching you, like different aspects of that, you know, the crackling of some radio speaker or whatnot, shuffling of feet, like that would be the ambiance,
The soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack of what you're doing. And like that in itself would be like the movie scene, you know, and rather than trying to, you know, I don't know, like going real quick, like going into meditation, like a lot of people say, well, I meditate a lot. I meditate a lot. So what do you do when you meditate? It's like, I shut everything out. You know, I quiet the mind and I just go into like a space of silence. Like, I was like, well, really? Like, then that's not really meditation at all. Like, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
You're going unconscious. You know, what does the word meditate mean? To concentrate on something, you know? Right. So when you meditate, like a lot of the times I want to concentrate on like the fog light consciousness. So I want to hear all the sounds, but not really put a name to it. Just kind of let them play with my ear. Same thing with the visuals, same thing with the feelings of sensational of all my sensory appendages, you know, feelings and all the textures and everything like that. And just kind of let it play, you know, and just really be in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people meditate for what? Trying to get to somewhere, trying to self-improve, you know, like self-improve. What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, maybe being more self-aware.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like being more self-aware wouldn't be self-improvement. It'll be just kind of like an awakening, like, realizing who you are.
I guess,
you know,
but if you're aware you're an asshole,
yeah,
then you start making changes and maybe you're a better person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But would it be like, would that be self-improvement, or would they be kind of like you doing something different? It wouldn't necessarily be improvement. I mean, I guess pertaining to society standards, but you were already there. So like, that's what I'm saying. There wouldn't be any improvement because the idea of self-improvement is like, who's going to do the improving? The person that needs to be improved.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not, maybe you call it like self-changing.
Yeah.
You know, like but like there is nowhere you're trying to get to. And when you stop trying to get to that place, you can enjoy the moment more vividly. And that's what a lot of people, I think, fail to understand, is that I'm trying to be something. And that's what I failed to understand for a long time. I started to take it too seriously. I wanted to get somewhere, like especially with fighting and stuff. And I started to see like, man, I'm feeling my head on the wall plenty of times, like what's going on? And then like, it got to a point where I'm not going to care anymore. You know, I'm not trying to get anywhere. I'm just going to be myself. And that's when I start to really like do all the crazy moves, the spinning moves, and really express myself.
That's the one with the double punch?
Yeah.
Wow. What's it called?
I don't know. Some people call it the dragon punch.
Oh, there's a word, like they use it in one of the games.
Hadouken.
Yeah, Hadouken. That's the thing. I wanted to yell that, and then you do it. That would have been like a whole best coaching moment ever. Do you have any performances that you have enjoyed more than any others? Like if you say there was a fight that represented you, or a couple of fights in your UFC career, do you have any that come to mind?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of fights in my UFC career for sure. I would feel like, and it's funny, I would feel like they're the fights that come right after like a losing streak, you know, where it kind of shakes me out of everything is too important type of deal. And I kind of just let myself go again. Kind of like fights with like Cole Miller fight was a good one. The Chase Hooper fight, I like that one. I felt, Yair Rodriguez, of course, that was a great fight, and there was a.
God, we were close in that fight, man.
I felt like it was. Yeah, I felt like I did a little. It was just like he just did flashy stuff that didn't even land.
Yeah,
and I felt like that was what won him the fight, and obviously, it was a bigger fan base and stuff. I could have done a little bit more.
I think we do more in the fifth round, we win the fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I didn't think it was a bad fight. I still thought it was very close. Obviously, split decision, but yeah, that was a main event too. Pretty cool. Salt Lake City. You know what? I was, for me, two fights. I had forgotten about Yair a little bit. I really liked that fight. I just think that we kind of won the fight. I think with like.
Yeah, I know it was because I felt like I'm the only person with the takedown.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely crowded him more.
Yeah.
And I felt like what won him the fight was the cartwheel kick that didn't even land.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, come on.
Everybody starts yelling and screaming over nothing. But then Cole Miller, I thought you were so good. And the escape out of that arm lock was pretty scary.
I put myself in the arm lock.
Yes.
I was.
But like it was a thrashing. You know, like you were clearly the better fighter in that fight throughout the round. And Cole Miller had a pretty big name and a pretty good reputation. I love that one. And then your performance against Sergio Pettis
That was another one.
I love that one too because I mean, the bonuses aren't the important thing, but to get the fight of the night and the submission of the night in a really closely contested thing, and at the end pulling it out with a rear naked choke.
Well, they always say, like, if you want to do something great, you need two things: a plan and not quite enough time.
That's hilarious. But like, boy, he landed a hard kick on you. You remember that? Like, he landed a head kick on you.
Oh,
that kind of caught you on the forehead. It didn't even change.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't. No, it didn't. Yeah, I didn't even feel it. Honestly, it was weird. It was like it just went bam. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I took that one flush, and like I remember it during the fight. I'm like, that hit me right on the face. I'm like, and then like I even had like dreams later, like days after, because nothing happened, but I just had dreams, like almost like theoretical dreams, like waking up like, man, what if all these days after the fight, I was really just knocked out, and this is all a dream.
And you're gonna wake up,
and I'm gonna wake up, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's not me. You know, like
me and Ben looking at you. You all right?
But I've had so many dreams like that after fights, even like weeks after, like had vivid dreams of me in the same fight that I've won, like weeks after the fight. I'm like, it's like, yeah, it would be like that. I'm waking up in the back room, and everybody's around me, and I'm like, oh fuck, you know, like I'm feeling all the emotions. I'm like, oh man, I've never been knocked out like that, but like in my dreams, I've been knocked out like plenty of times. and I've had those dreams before fights. Those are the worst.
Those terrible. They make you wake up.
Yeah, it's just like fuck. It's like it's over. And like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, it's already the day after the fight, and it's like, no, this is the day before the fight. I'm like, okay, gotta get ready again.
One of the things I think about when I think about you is how much you like to be outside of the cage, like out in nature. Like, tell me about some of the things you like to do outside of fighting.
Oh, well, just the other day, my niece came to visit me. So we went out we went to Sedona, did some hiking out there.
Beautiful up there.
Check out some cool stuff. We did the Salt River trip and everything. Did a little cliff diving.
Did you go on a raft too?
We just went on the little tubes.
Oh, how fun was that?
It was fun. It's very fun. We've done it before, but like, yeah, it's been good to get back out there again. And then we did a little cliff. Well, I did the cliff diving. Like one day they put a rope up next to a cliff now.
Yeah.
And so you just climb up. And I almost messed up bad. I didn't, like, not on the jump part. I jumped fine.
It was
careful. Just swimming there. You have to go against the current just to get to the spot.
Oh.
So once I got out there, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty tired. So then I started climbing up. And I'm like, okay, that took a little bit out of me. So I'm pretty tired. And the other guy was like, wait, he's like, all right, jump. I want to go up next. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. Let me just catch my breath. So I just jumped. Boom, I just jumped down, and then I just landed in there. And then like an idiot, you know, like I'm already thinking, oh, I'm going to just swim back to shore, but the current's pushing me that way. So I'm just swimming against the current hard. Boom, and I get like halfway, and I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? And I'm like, this is how people drown. And like right there, I'm serious, I'm going to drown. So I'm like, oh, no. So I'm like, this sucks. So I'm like, wait, hold up. But I can still like, I'm like, my brain went immediately to like, this is like being in a chokehold. Yeah. You just got to calm down and do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just calmed down, went underwater, and just kind of like went with the current, and then just got to the shore. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm good now.
Yeah, that would be a scary moment.
Yeah, but it was weird. It was like, it was scary, but like, it was like, I don't know. It was like, you know, like you're about to get there, but you know, you're not almost there. So like you still got some time to be calm and play around with your options.
Yeah.
It was like in those situations. And I think that's a really great thing that not only fighting, but pertainly jiu-jitsu brought to me, you know, just like being in those crazy moments where you're in a chokehold and not panicking.
Yeah.
You know, where you're out of breath, where you're tired, like swimming against the current, like somebody just wrestling the shit out of you, and you're just dead tired, and you just can't panic, and you got to make the right choices. So, that it was scary, but it also makes me proud in the sense where, like, even in the darker moments, you know, like, you can always persevere. You can always make the right choice to get out of the shitty
that's
situation.
Right when you need to be that way.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, like if everything's good, you don't need it. You need it when things are bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's why I like embracing those moments. That's why I feel like sometimes the better the fighter, the more pressure I'm under, the better I express myself.
Yeah.
Is like, it's almost out of necessity.
Yeah.
Not out of survival, but it's just like, I got to keep up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, people talk about you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your training. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much true. And that's what you're saying. Like that, your training in jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts and martial arts in general helped you in a moment to just go, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm good. I can make it out of this.
And it helps you. I feel like it on everyday life, you know, like, as awkward as I am, I would have broke my face a whole bunch of times as much as I stumble. But like I'll stumble, and even my wife thinks like sometimes I'm doing it on purpose. Like I'll stumble, and like for some reason I was like, I'll cartwheel out of it, you know. And it's like that was extra, and it was like, it was just
Hey, that's
something
just
that
how
I can
do
do.
it, babe. That's just how I do it. Well, you've spoken about being a vegan a bunch of times. How is that? How has it been? Like what? Let's start. How did you start being a vegan? Were you always from the beginning?
No. I started being a vegan probably around like 22 or 23-ish.
Yeah.
I would say around there. And then when I started, I was kind of like on and off. Like I wasn't completely vegan. I was vegan like going up until fights, and then I would come off of it, after fights. But I was doing it to help me cut weight because I was doing it at 135.
Yeah.
And I've been vegan for a long time. I'm not vegan anymore though.
No?
No. We haven't been vegan for almost a year now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
It's
Do you see any difference?
well, yeah. I don't know if it's being vegan or it was being just not fighting for like a whole year and a half and just lifting, but I did gain weight.
Yeah.
So I can't attribute it to my diet change or anything like that. But I don't notice really too much of a difference, to be honest with you. I don't feel that there's a difference. I don't feel for that when it comes to eating and stuff. Like I feel anything could be great. We got to get to the stuff that's not fucked with the most.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we can do that, that'd be great. But for anything, whatever you want to eat, do it in moderation. And just remember, it's not what goes into a man's mouth that's evil, but what comes out.
Yeah.
So we just have to.
All right. I didn't even know. That's amazing.
I make my own jerky now and everything.
Well, you used to make some crazy, like you made a crazy good key lime pie for me once. That was vegan. It was delicious.
I'm trying to experiment now. I'm trying to make I think it's called a honey pie.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Me neither, and it's gonna be our first time. So
wow,
can check that out.
Are you you garden a lot?
Yeah.
Right? Are you still gardening a bunch?
Yeah. I'm going to, I had the first season should have been pumpkins. We had a whole bunch of pumpkins and I wanted to bring them in and share them with everybody and stuff like that.
What happened?
Or when I went out for the fight, Michael Del Toro is supposed to be watering my plants. But I guess I didn't have the irrigation system hooked up completely and I didn't have it shaded properly. They kind of burnt up.
Oh,
but they were big pumpkins. There was a whole bunch of them. But now I got melons coming in. So that should be good. Like cantaloupes, honeydews, and watermelons. A whole bunch like... Right, the plants are flowering now. I got some small melons, like they're like this big, growing.
Yeah.
But I have about over 75 plants, like a whole bunch of melons coming in.
Wow.
I got different variations of different plants too growing, but for the most part, right now in the major planter boxes, I got a lot of melons, and I'm gonna start pumpkins now, so they can come in around the winter time.
So they won't be so hot for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it weird trying to grow stuff in Arizona, trying to figure out the heat and the seasons and stuff?
Yeah, I just gotta manipulate the environment. So I'm gonna just shade up the backyard a little bit better. I got some shades coming in, and I'm gonna build. You ever seen like those trellises? They kind of like not trellises, but they have like the shade sails, and you can like bring them back and forth.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can retract.
Retractable.
So I'm gonna kind of like do it myself, like just build some of those. I just gotta buy some. I got some materials coming in, and once those come in, I can start crafting that. So at least the backyard won't get too heated up because it does get brutal in the summer. But then we were also thinking about moving up north, like probably, was it 30 minutes, 40?
Which one? Where are you going?
Probably
Prescott?
No. We probably want to go, is it east?
Yeah.
Probably like around like Greer area.
Oh, nice. Boy, it cools off quick when you go up north a little bit.
Oh yeah, a lot. Like when we were up in Sedona, it was like the sun's completely on. It's just like what 10, 20 degrees cooler. It's just a lot easier to live.
Yeah, we went up to Flagstaff. My son's probably going to go to school at NAU, so we did a tour, and it was like 70. My wife needed a coat, like she was freezing. It is crazy how much you can become acclimated to the Phoenix weather.
Yeah, it's Phoenix. It is. I mean, not Phoenix, but Arizona's crazy. Like in the wintertime, you can literally be hiking a mountain or going on the river, and then drive 2 hours up and just literally be skiing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a cool thing, right? Like, I think that's neat. California has some of that too. You can be at the beach and drive a couple hours and be up at Big Bear and skiing. But we don't have a beach. We just have the desert.
But we might have a beach soon, They say the
keeps
San
going.
Andreas fault line is opening up. And,
oh, geez. Well, we're going to own beachfront property. We're set. So you were talking about you talking about jumping in the water and being in trouble, it reminds me of your composure in a couple of fights. Because when we fought Steven Peterson, you broke your hand.
Yeah.
All right.
And cracked my fucking eye open.
And and we won, and you stuck to it, and you won that fight. And then we fought Giga Chikadze with a broken arm that broke early. And I remember you telling me about it. Maybe after round one, maybe. I don't remember. And I thought we won that fight too. Like that fight's annoying to me because
I couldn't do a lot. I don't feel like I won that fight just because I couldn't land my left hand.
Yeah.
I was landing some kicks and some punch and like my jabs and stuff. I felt like I was dodging a lot, freezing him up. I felt like he couldn't do. And those stomach kicks, whatever he threw, like I didn't feel them.
Yeah.
At all, like whatever. Like I felt great, but I just knew I couldn't do enough.
How were you able to, in those moments, how were you able to focus through? Like that pain stops a lot of people. Right?
Shit. I don't know. I really can't tell you. It's more of like, the best way to explain it, the mentality that I will be in, was more prominent in when I fought the Korean.
Yeah.
The one that like kneed me in the face while I was down.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't take any time off in between. Like the referee was trying to give me time off. He just asked me if I remember my name. Yeah. And then like I just went and he's like, oh, you can take 5 minutes if you want. I'm like, no, I was ready to go back in. Yeah. It was kind of like
I was probably yelling at you to take the time too.
So in my mind, like the way that it seems and I want to assure you that it's not like giving up. It's just being okay with the possibility. And I'm like, well, this is where I could die, and that's it. And so you just go in, there was no more backing up. Yeah. At that moment. And that's where I felt like I turned the fight around, especially like, I was able to slip that moment and crack him in the face. I saw they started bleeding a little bit of the nose. I'm like, oh, it's hard to breathe for him now. Yeah. And it put me in a state of mind where now every single moment counted, or I was aware of every single moment. So when I hit him, I immediately observed that he started bleeding. I saw that he sniffed, it was hard to breathe. That went in my head. So I started pressing him. He didn't he started pressing back and he started throwing that big cross now, but more defensively. And I was able to slip under, take that back, and then look for the choke. And I noticed he was blocking it. So I started slamming this point of the elbow right there in the inside of his ear. And then he really went to go blocking and gave me the room to choke him out there. Yeah. So I feel that would be more where I'm composed. The first one, when I broke my hand, you helped me out. I went back to the corner and I was like, I remember, first of all, when I broke my hand, I didn't know I broke my hand. So I hit him really hard with Steven Peterson and he ducked his head. I remember hitting him right on the forehead. And I just heard a crack, I heard a pop. And I'm like, and I felt pain immediately, just run straight through my hand. And I'm like, fuck, that fucking hurt. I'm like, I didn't think it was broken, so I did it again, and I'm like, and then I hit him in the face this time, but I'm like, oh shit, this fucking hurt. And it wasn't the pain that really it gave me a sick feeling. It wasn't the pain. It was I felt the bone was like this. Oh. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, shivered. And I'm like, oh, this is bad. And then he ran into me and then headbutted me and then broke my whole eye open. And then somehow we got onto the ground and trying to choke me out. He's on top of my back. And I'm just sitting there and I can tell my hand's broken now. And I see blood just pouring down in front of me. I'm like, oh, fuck, I could give up right now. This will be okay. I don't have to keep going on. I'm really hurt, really bad. I have these thoughts. I'm like, I shouldn't go on. This is not smart to do. But yeah, but then I had an image, of I had brought my dog to that fight and he was staying in the hotel room and I had an image of him being alone in the hotel room. For some reason that motivated me. So I just held on and was able to fight off the choke, got to the chair at the second round. I mean, in between the second round, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, and that's when I told you, I'm like, oh, Crouch, I think I broke my hand. He's like, it's all right, it's all right. So you okay? He's like, yeah. He's like, which one is it? I'm like, it's my left hand. He's like, okay, you still got your right one. And that's what you tell me. I'm like, all right. And then I wasn't in the condition, I guess, or over the pain where I could just fathom what you said. So I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then just kind of went in there and just kept hitting him with this hand.
Well, you hit him with that check hook about 37 times in the next 2 rounds. And won us the fight. But I was just impressed in those moments, and including the Korean one I'd kind of forgotten about. But your composure is pretty amazing, remarkable. And I think for good fighters, suffering's just part of it, right?
Yeah, you have to
be able to suffer well.
Yeah, and it's in those moments you can't stop the cars running through your street. You know, you can't stop every thought. You can't try and like feel them, think them, you know, do it. Like that's the only way they're going to pass through you.
Yeah.
You know, you ever seen like I already seen the movie probably, but like you ever read the book Dune?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, I love that book. That was one of my favorite books to read. But
Pain is the mind killer.
yeah,
The Bene Gesserit.
exactly the idiom
mantra. Yeah.
That's what that got me through a lot. You know what I'm saying? You got to let your fears pass over you and through you.
Yeah.
And where your fears go, nothing's going to be there. Only you're going to remain. Like they're going to pass. And like all these thoughts are going to happen. Like even before fights, I guarantee you every fighter thinks about backing out.
Yeah.
Before a fight happens.
Yeah.
Or wishing stuff like, I can't tell you, I'm standing right behind my opponent, watch him go out. Oh man, I hope he backs out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, well, what
Are you sure you feel okay?
Yeah.
You want to just rest?
A couple days before the fight, it's like, oh, I hope he gets injured, you know, and then we don't have to fight. We don't have to do this. We don't have to fucking do this. Why are we doing this? And like, I can't tell you that how many times I would have those thoughts, but like, I know those are not me.
Yeah.
You know, it's the tool that my mind is. And that's what the mind is. It's a wonderful tool, but a terrible master.
Right.
You are not the mind. You know, you're beyond that. You are the cumulation of everything. So don't let the mind rule you over. You know,
Yeah.
it's when you gotta supersede that because the real you doesn't have to think.
Yeah.
It is.
That's amazing. Mindfulness, the modern psychology, sports psychology, mindfulness, like Phil Jackson's super well known for managing the Bulls and the Lakers like that. But it is all that. You notice the bad thoughts, you notice the things, but then you release them and you keep doing what you're doing. That's pretty amazing. Well, let's watch this fight. It's called Cageside Rewind. So let's get to this dirty boxing fight. Tell me about dirty boxing a little bit.
Well, dirty boxing.
How do you like it?
I like it. I like the kind of gives me like the Cinderella Man vibe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Russell Crowe is great in that, by the way.
That was my fight. One of my. I mean, he's great in every movie.
He
It
is.
was like the more modern Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great movie that is. Just him fighting for his kids and stuff. All right. Let's take a look at this fight. Boom,
I've
here we go.
only seen it once after. I mean, I've seen like replays on
All
Instagram.
right. So you did your hair. You braided it up.
Yeah.
How come you braided it so it fell in your face?
It started to untie.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Boy, he just had a lot of energy coming in.
Well, yeah, like I didn't know, but like the day before the fight, I looked him up, and I'm like, oh, this guy has like a Lex 11 pro boxing fight knockouts. Like, I'm like, oh, this guy was a boxer, you know, like, but he was always game. But I seen a lot of his fights, and
Boy, he's throwing
he likes
that
to
big
throw
left
heavy.
hand.
Yeah, he likes to throw heavy. I was able to pull him down on the clinch.
I think a common theme with that body shot is you landed a lot of hard body shots. Was that part of the game plan going in?
Well, yeah, for sure. I've been landing a lot in practice, and not only that, I kind of want a body. I always wanted to have a knockout, and I wanted it to be a body shot knockout. And when I was getting my hair braided, I was watching Gervonta Davis body shot knockout Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
And then that kind
Tanks
of
the
motivated
man.
me there. There it is, that body shot.
Yeah, you kept digging throughout the fight. His like outright blatant aggression seems to have thrown you off balance just a little bit at the beginning. Were you kind of expecting it, or did he surprise you? Because he's literally just charging into you like a bull.
Well, yeah, I was kind of expecting him to be a little bit more aggressive. I feel like, especially in these kind of fights, people want to be more aggressive. And the way I felt it last time, I wanted to be more in a stalwart stance, you know, kind of like break that aggression, like let the wave crash on the stone wall.
Yes.
And meet him halfway. And then they'll get tired.
And he sure did. I mean, that you got to give credit to your body shots on that.
Yeah.
When he squares up, he's throwing that left hand. When he goes same stance, he wants that left hand bad.
And nothing really landed too solid. I was able to, there it is, another good one. I was able to like do micro movements just to avoid damage. There's a nice one.
That diving left hand, you started seeing it good and slipping off to the side. Oh, you threw the whole kitchen sink at him on that combo right there. I like it. You know what I like about this? Like you're saying Cinderella Man vibe, but like the brown leather, the black ropes, the kind of dimmer, the wood around the cage. That looks so cool.
Yeah. It's like old school, like speakeasy.
Yeah.
Underground fights.
Oh.
There's that combination. Body,
Boy,
head.
Those body. He already at the end of the first round, you could tell he was feeling it. Like his
Yeah, he tried to stop early. He thought the 10 seconds was the end of the round. Those slips were coming with shoulder bumps, which
Yes.
is like sometimes you can't see on that angle. And I was landing those shoulders pretty good. Standing, they're pretty much like body shots.
that was the Hadouken.
Man, I'm like, there's 10 seconds. There's 10 seconds.
He's like, I need to go sit down.
Like, no, we got 10 seconds. Hold up. Oh, try to elbow him.
Oh, that was nice.
Got close.
He wanted to get out of there, though. I think that helped. That he was like, you know what? Let me just get out of here a little bit. So, what was the wife telling you in the corner?
Oh, I don't remember nothing. She was telling me to keep my hands up
She's
for
like,
sure.
you need to win and stop getting hit.
She was like,
you're like, okay, babe,
just
I
keep my
will.
hands up. I know she told me to keep my hands up for sure.
That's funny. Did you know the cut man?
The cut man? No.
He's just for the organization.
Yeah.
All right, round 2. How are you feeling coming out? Besides
great,
that your
felt
braids
great.
are coming out. Look at that mark underneath, the mouse underneath his eye there, too.
I felt good. I saw he was sitting down, so I know I was fresh.
Ooh, jab gets through there by Caceres on Sean West.
Boy, he seems to switch stance almost like
Yeah, I was expecting that.
without any thought, right? Like he's not necessarily got to. Boy, he's feeling your pressure right now.
Definitely more in his element.
Yeah, I was throwing a lot more punches now. I'm working a lot with that, what is that, Vertimax.
Yeah.
Woo, love that machine. There's that shoulder bump
Yeah,
again.
I was going to say, you're doing a great job with that lead shoulder when he comes in.
Starting to do some of that tricky stuff he does in MMA. He's figuring it out here in dirty boxing.
Hold up by Sean West.
Oh, there's that right
There's a
hook.
whole bunch of hooks.
Yep. Boy, and early he felt a little more physical here, didn't he? And he feels like he's ready for this fight to be over already. Do you think your energy was just too much?
Yeah, at that moment, I felt like I had him. I felt like
Oh, nice straight left. And
another
again.
one. That one I liked. Oh, that was my favorite one. Rewind that one real quick. So I don't know why people don't like that one so much. That one's like super smooth, super smooth. Look how I just slip and then shoulder bump him off.
And that's when he goes to the ground.
Yeah, he didn't fall to the ground. It was that slight step back.
He was kind of playing possum there. Did you see that?
Yeah,
He was like all lazy and threw that nasty elbow.
bam,
2 left hands. Boom.
and then right
now-
there, whoop whoop.
Oh, that was slick.
And they said I didn't earn that knockdown. I'm like, oh, that was an earned knockdown. I knocked him down.
Boy, he's done, man.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of hoping that the ref called the fight right there. Do you think so? Oh, gosh dang.
Well, he was still throwing.
Yeah,
He was still in
that right hand
game.
landed.
I think I was just throwing too much volume.
Yeah. You spun on him, so he spun on you. That's what happens so much in fighting.
He hit me with that spinning elbow though, right in the lip.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's funny that he looks so tired, but he's still got a little bit of spark on him. Oh, that right hand landed hard to the body. What are you thinking right here? Like, you were thinking, man, the Hadouken again.
There you go. That's what I was
One
thinking.
for each round.
I was thinking about doing what can I do right here? Some cool shit.
You ever think about throwing a leg up there
No.
and have to go, I'm not going to throw my leg?
No, I never didn't feel that way.
Oh.
Right there, I just felt like I had him right there. Like everything
Yeah.
he was throwing, I was dodging.
His body language gets so bad in between, doesn't it? I mean, he's catching an ass whooping, so understandable, but the weird contrast between that bad body language and then mean intentions, you know?
And honestly, right around here towards the end, like I started thinking, like, man, my fucking arms are tired. It's like shit. Like I don't want to throw anymore. Like this motherfucker did not go down. I hit him pretty hard.
Boy, you're pulling
another
back
shoulder.
easy out of there.
Yeah,
Well, he's coming in so hard, your shoulder has to catch him, right?
yeah. Boom. There's the uppercut. That one landed nice. And there was that 10 seconds, and right there, I'm like, let me go to the body again. Boom, and there it is.
Nice. Sweet. How'd that feel?
It felt good. It felt good.
You guys seem to have a good rapport afterwards. What were you talking about?
Oh, I was just telling him that, like, it was a good fight, and he should keep doing it. Come back, and then if he ever wants, you should come out to Arizona and train with us.
Nice. That's always good to see, man. Like, we're competing, we're doing our best, but there's really no hard feelings afterwards,
Well, there shouldn't be. Usually we don't know the person,
Yeah.
so there's not enough relationship to have bad
Any
feelings.
bad feelings, yeah. That's something that's never been part of you, really. Like, how some people have to be mad to
Yeah.
get motivated? That's never really been part of you. How do you deal with that when somebody else feels like that to you? Like you're talking about Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
He had to have a little bit of
Yeah, and I feel like most people, to do most of their actions, must be motivated.
Yeah.
Like without motivation, people won't get anything done.
Yeah.
And I feel like that becomes becomes a problem, not only for yourself, but in the entirety of society. Nobody would get anything done. Imagine if there wasn't any incentive. So I feel I've been to so many street fights. I've been into so many fights in general, just in school. Like, a whole bunch of fights. Like, I've been suspended 1 year 14 times
Oh my
for
gosh.
fighting. And that was just for fighting. And then but every year is like double digits. That was just the most I've ever been suspended. So I've been to so many fights where
It's kind of normal for
I
you.
don't need a motivation. There is no time for motivation. It's like in a street fight, so they just fucking happen. It's like, this is happening. Better do it now.
Yeah.
So I never saw that I needed to be motivated to fight somebody. I never felt that. I never understood it. And that helped me with doing actions, and just like that's why I'm really good at working. Like, I've held jobs for years. I can do a lot of work. I like working diligently. Like, if I do start a job, I'm going to do it till I get it done.
Yeah.
In that sense. So, but it's just because I don't need motivation to do it.
Yeah.
I just feel like it ought to be done. And might as well
So
start.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you always were like that. You were motivated to perform well, to practice hard, but it never had anything to do with the opponent. I think that's one reason you've had so much success,
Well, like that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even when it's practicing hard, like really, what's behind me to motivate me? It's just I like doing it. I really like doing it. And I guess for the most part, I like doing it. And I like the people that I do it with.
Yeah.
And I think that's the major part. That's why I jumped around different gyms and looking for a good home and everything like that, because I like doing what I'm doing. And it's even better when you get to do it with people you're with. It's kind of like being in a relationship.
Yeah.
I like kissing girls, but I like only kissing the girls that I'm with. So I'd rather get the girl that I'm with and have her.
The
so
ones
I
I
can kiss her.
pay, I don't like kissing them as much.
Yeah, random girls is not always fun. It gets awkward, and maybe you can catch a disease and stuff like that. So
Her husband doesn't like it.
So with anything, it's situational and circumstantial. So anything that you're doing, if you can bring down the motivations, like take away all the incentives and just bring it down to, well, I like doing it and I like the people that I do it with, then you don't need to be motivated to do it. You upkeep society, you upkeep the morality of society, simply because it's almost like your duty, your responsibility to do so, because or else you wouldn't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what if I was a fighter and I hurt all my opponents before the fight? Then I wouldn't be able to do what I like doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm winning all my fights, but it's not the same.
Well, I think I love that. And just hearing you talk about it and seeing your response to the guy afterwards. And in general, you've always been like that. I mean, I don't remember all of them.
Yeah, it's harder when I lose, definitely. I probably don't want to talk to anybody for a while.
Well, it isn't about them still.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more just the disappointment of losing, and maybe not having performed the way you want to, or the result didn't come out, whatever the thing is. It's still never been from you directed to the opponent as negative energy.
Well, there's been a couple times. I feel like there's been a couple, like the whole Cole Miller fight.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at Cole Miller. I was mad at Hector Lombard.
Yeah.
And since they can't, I kind of wanted, and yeah. So
Hey, that worked out all right.
I was a little mad. I remember going up until the fight, before the fight, the day of the fight. I was just because Hector Lombard posted some video talking shit about us and talking and everything like that. So I'm like, oh man, and I wanted to calm down. So I remember going downstairs and getting a glass of wine, and then just drinking that, and then just okay, I'm calm down. And then a couple hours later, we went to the fight, and then I just felt pretty good and smooth. I was still though like I'm gonna prove something here. I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
Well, you did.
And then same thing with the Chase Super fight. I don't know why I was angry, but it wasn't necessarily directed at him. It was like I just felt angry at the fact they were trying to build him up off of me.
Well, I think the same thing with Cole. They felt disrespected a little bit. Like, hey man, I'm doing this too. I'm gonna show up and do my thing. Like, I don't know why you're talking like this. I don't know if you felt like that, but that's what it sounds like a little bit.
Well, yeah, Hector Lombard's always been,
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad. Honestly, it's like I really don't revel in people getting knocked out, but I'm glad that Hector Lombard got knocked out that dirty boxing fight, and the way that he did, because he came out like a bat out of hell, trying to like pressure the shit out of the guy, because I guess he thought the guy was like soft dude,
Yeah.
and the guy just turned on, and like fought like he was fighting his older brother at home, and just like threw some wild punches, and like, oh man, that was.
Well, Hector's pretty old to be fighting still too, right? I mean, he's had some wars, but he is who he is. That's definitely not who you are. Well, that was a great fight. Hey, before we leave, there's a couple questions. So we kind of talked about this, but do you have a favorite martial arts movie?
I feel like one that probably changed me the most. I would say that would be the most favorite one, and I guess it also goes to like talking about that steady mindset, like whatever happens. Like you're gonna still go through into that dark alley and see if you come out. Fist of Fury, I believe it was, especially towards that ending part when like he's like surrounded by all these gunmen and he has to just keep going because it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that. All right, if you weren't fighting, what do you think you'd be doing?
Well, I plan on when I'm. Well, I shouldn't. I think I'll always be fighting.
Yeah.
Some way or the other, but not professionally, not for a living. I want to be living off the land, honestly.
I was just going to say, I feel like you'd be a gardener. Like that old saying, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. I feel like you have a real sense of pride and accomplishment in doing that. That's just from the outside and hearing you talk about it.
Well, I feel like, but not just gardening, but I mean, like, even like just learning those old techniques, those skills that we kind of lost as humanity, the things that got us here.
Yeah.
It doesn't slow us down. If anything, it enriches us. It enriches our experience. There's a reason why we take something that could take 5 minutes and make it into 5 hours. It just increases the decadence.
That's it. I all these questions we kind of covered. I've really enjoyed watching your career so far. I know there's more to be done, but excited to see you, turn into that gardener, work off the land. Like if the power shut off, we'd be in trouble.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm trying to buy some land up north somewhere, and just we're looking for a lot of acreage. My whole idea, I would love to do that, would be to start like a small village. I feel like we have a necessity and a duty as people in society we kind of need to rewrite society. We don't have to throw away everything, but there's a lot of shit that's not useful or it's not helping us.
Yeah.
The over identification of the individual is destroying society. And what I mean by that is that I got to be this on top of this and identify as this and that is too much individualization. And therefore you have no obligation towards the tribe or the community if you're too individualized. And I think it's okay to be Alex Caceres, martial artist, but that's about it,
But that's a cog in the bigger machine.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it. And then I fit into the machine of society. As a martial artist, I can train students, I can protect people, and I can do other stuff and probably have other vocational skills that don't necessarily define me. But when we start taking names and words and titles and use them to define us, we limit ourselves. We don't free ourselves as we think we're doing when we over-identify ourselves. We actually limit ourselves because now you can no longer be anything outside of that.
Yeah.
And you cannot contribute to society because everything else is an enemy to you now.
Well, that is some deep shit to end on. Hey, man, I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
You've had such a cool career, and that dirty boxing fight was really fun to see you. Almost at the end, I could just see you just having a great time, Like I've seen you have fun fighting, but there's different times and different tensions and different things, and you could see the joy of getting out in there and letting go again, performing well and having fun. So thanks for everything. Thanks for being part of this thing.
Thank you.
You're the man. All right, guys, thanks for joining in. We'll see you next time.